What's up, guys? Got Dave here, and this is my first top 5 video I've ever done. I've never done like a top 5 or a top 10 before, just because I always felt like the people who did those videos, every time I saw one, I felt like they did a pretty darn good job. The other day I saw one. It was the 5 things I hate about riding a motorcycle, and it was by CycleCruza. And he usually does a really good job on any of his videos, and it was still an entertaining video, but his list was just, it felt like he loves riding too much. That's the thing. He loves it so much that it was hard for him to come up with a list of 5 things that he didn't like about it. So I figured this is the first time I've ever seen a video like that where I felt like I could do it a little bit better, a little bit different, you know, maybe give you a more practical opinion, probably something that you guys would agree with more. First thing on his list, and I'll put his list up so you can see what it is, what you think of it. First thing on his list is helmet head. It gives you helmet head, you know, it gives you helmet hair, and it gives you a red face, and it, true, but that, I don't know, I think more practical. I think way more practical. I think, here's one thing that I really hate about motorcycle riding, okay, and this is my first thing, is there are too many bikes out there. If you really, and think about that, if you really like motorcycle riding, you really love motorcycles, and you just, there are way too many to choose from. I could probably think of like 30 that I would love to own. I mean, I could have a freaking 8-car garage just filled with bikes, you know, one of each and every kind. There's so many bikes, too many to choose from. And then number 2 on his list, and I just realized that number 2 on his list is helmet head, and number 1 on his list is the asshole riders. But that's, I'm not gonna re-record that. I'm just gonna let it fly. Number 2 is the asshole riders, and I could care less about that, really, just because anything you do, you know, if you get into bowling, or if you get into playing pool, or if you get into riding bicycles, or if you get into anything that you get into, racing cars, there's going to be assholes. You could take an upholstery class at the adult school, and there's going to be some asshole in that class. So to me, that's just like whatever. So I got a better number 2. My number 2 is, I hate leaving my bike places. Like if I go into the store somewhere, I have to like park my bike out in the parking lot and like go into the market. The whole time I'm like walking around in the market, I'm like getting stuff as quick as I can because I want to get back out there and make sure nothing bad's happening to my bike. I don't know, that's just how I am. Maybe some of you guys don't stress on that, but that is one thing that I do not like about that. Like if it's my car, I roll up the windows, I lock the doors. I don't really think about that too much, you know? It's like it's just sitting out there. Or a bike, it's different, man. You know, I mean, even if it's locked up, it's like some idiot could come whipping into the parking place, you know, like they're in a hurry and they come whipping in, especially at night. Like if they don't see your bike and they just like nail your bike, and then they go, oh crap, and they look around and nobody saw it, so they just back out and they leave. And then you come out and there your bike is just laying on the ground all messed up, you know, stuff like that. My number 3, I made number 3, there's no particular order to mine, you know, like number 1 is not more important than the rest of them or anything like that. I just went down the line just however I thought of them. But number 3, I did make number 3 because I wanted it to coincide with his number 3, because I agree with that. And that is something that I put on my list that he has on his list, and that's maintenance, dude. That is something that's so frustrating about motorcycles, is it's like, when was the last time you had to take your car in and have the valves adjusted? You don't, you know, but on bikes, it's like you gotta do it every 12,000 miles. It's like, dude, you don't have to do anything on a car every 12,000 miles. Now, his number 4 really isn't that big of a deal for me because I'm in California, so that's kind of biased the way I think about that, because there are a lot of places where you can't ride like year-round. You know, like right now it's like the 4th, I think it's like the 3rd or the 4th of December, and look at it, it's freaking gorgeous, dude. This is California. This is why the prices here are so high. This is what we pay for, is we could do whatever we want year round. So as far as winter sucking because I can't ride, it doesn't really. You know, it's actually kind of more fun for me because I get to ride in the rain, which is something that I don't get to do very much in California. So that I kind of look forward to. So I disagreed with that one, but only because, you know, geographically, like where I'm at. So my number 4, I figured, since I hate leaving my bike outside of stores, it also made me think about when I go to stores, how hard it is sometimes, like when I buy stuff, like I gotta fit it all in my backpack and then ride home. So that's kind of an inconvenience. That's my number 4, is it's not near as easy to like go shopping and stuff like that on your motorcycle as it is to do it in a car. You know, like in a car, it's like no big deal. You're throwing stuff in the trunk, you're throwing stuff in the back seat. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. You got plenty of room. Then number 5, CycleCruza's number 5 was the self-canceling signals, the self-canceling turn signals. I'm pretty much used to it. You know, I finish a turn, I cancel them out, shift in the next gear. You know, it's just kind of like routine now to use my signals like that. So I don't need self-canceling signals. So my number 5 is gearing up for short trips. I hate that, man. That is my number 5, and it should be number 1, honestly. Because like in the morning, like I'll wake up Saturday morning and I'll put on my suit and I'll put on my boots and grab my gloves, and I love gearing up like for a day in the canyon. You know, for a day of riding when I'm gonna go out, I could care less about gearing up. It's not a hassle for me. I love it. You know, I love gear, I got plenty of it. I encourage people to wear it. That's not a big deal. But what I hate is when I'm just chilling in my in my living room, don't even got shoes on or whatever, I'm just like kicking back, and I realize I'm like, oh dude, I don't have anything in the fridge for dinner, you know, and I gotta throw all my gear on and ride down the street and go get dinner, and it's just like for like a little 2-second ride, little quarter-mile ride. That is something I hate doing. So that's my number 5, should be my number 1, and that's my list. So that is it for my top 5 things that I hate about motorcycle riding. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about my list, or what you think about CycleCruza's list. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day.